Okay, so a little bit of a late day journal. I did a vibe session this morning earlier. I think it was this morning. Anyway, so yeah, I kind of want to talk just real briefly about Destiny's obsession with randomness. Here's the thing: a lot of their gatekeeping and throttling and all that other shit you want to call it comes down to them basically encountering a slew of negative comments years ago about people claiming that there wasn't enough to do. That they were able to burn through content, max out their characters, get all their gear, and then there was like nothing to do. But that's because there's always something to do if you just have an imagination. When I say that I feel bored playing the game, what I'm really talking about is that I'm done with this activity. I'm just done with the game in general. I'm just taking a break. I'm not leaving the game. Obviously, I haven't, even in spite of the fact that I've said many times before where I was like, I'm done, I'm out, deleted the game. I've deleted this game twice. I've even deleted my main character, the one that came over from Destiny 1. I no longer have that character. He's gone. It was a Titan and a Hunter, and they're both just poof, out in the void. But in any case, the point being is that, I don't understand why they're so fixated on randomness. I mean, especially when it comes to things like seasonal bounties and challenges. No, that's no problem. That's no problem. I don't get that. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, that's only 12 sectors you've got to play. But the rotation, I've been trying to figure it out, and I haven't been able to nail it down. I don't think there's a standard rotation to this at all. So there's no way to time it like you can with the Throne World patterns. When you do the Throne World activities, the well activities, or whatever they're called, and you can get the patterns for the guns. They actually tell you you're going to get this. So if there was a way to like hover over the actual destination launcher, right here, and it'll tell you. Does it say? No, it doesn't. Celebrate the Festival of the Lost by exploring mysterious haunted sectors, but it's RNG. Do you know that if a person is particularly unlucky, and I know a few people who are very, very on the outside of good luck. I've done more than 12 of these lost sectors, and yet I still have to do one more Haunted Moon and one more Haunted EDZ. I have gotten tons of Nessus in Europa. So, fuck this. I also don't like random rolls on weapons. I don't think that's really... I mean, if I go out and I buy, 20 sidearms for, for my hunting club or whatever, go out and buy 20 rifles for a hunting club. First of all, that's going to be a lot of permits. But beside the point, if I buy a Smith & Wesson revolver of certain model, let's pick an arbitrary name. If I buy the Firecracker 52. My Firecracker 52 is going to perform the exact same way as everybody else's Firecracker 52 out there. In the real world, you buy a gun for its stats, for its performances, for your preferences, or if you're just a collector, you're collecting it. And every single one of them are going to perform exactly the same. If I go out and I buy an Optimus Prime, Transformer toy, my Optimus Prime Transformer toy is going to perform the same way as everybody else's. If I go out and I buy a Tommy Hilfiger's t-shirt, plain white t-shirt with the Tommy Hilfiger logo on it, I expect that any other version of that t-shirt I buy is going to perform the same way as that same t-shirt. If I go out and I buy a pair of red Converse high tops, mine are going to act and perform the same way as everybody else's. But it's what the person in that or with that gear that makes the change. So, again, and I think what it comes down to is that I think Bungie realizes that gaming crowds, the gaming community, is so fickle and so taciturn that I don't understand why they feel they need to compete at all. Bungie doesn't have to compete. Bungie owns the fucking market in this genre right now. There isn't a single person I know who doesn't play first-person shooter. There's not a single person I know who plays first-person shooters who doesn't play Destiny. And if they don't play Destiny, it's because, like me, they've had more than a few quit moments because of all the randomness. For me, the randomness is what pulls me away from the game. It's what drags me out of the immersion. It pulls me out of the narrative. It makes me feel like, you know what, I got better things to do. If I want a fucking game full of randomness, I'll go back to playing big board 40K. You know, because it's like you have an 8 stat line that's purely based on all dice rolls, and it's like, it doesn't matter. You can crunch the odds if you want, and you can try to beat the odds with sheer force of numbers, like the orcs and the Tyranids do. But in the end, it's a roll of the dice. And that's fine in a tabletop game when you're in a social environment, but in an FPS like this, you don't want that. I don't want to chase an activity over and over and over and over and over just at the chance I might get something I want. I really want some consistency. I want some predictability. I like that. That's what tickles my strategy brain. And I think a lot of players here would agree that, it's fun to have a random chance. I think the exotic engrams and the umbral engrams and the legendary engrams, that should be your gambling. That should be your random chance right there. You have a chance of getting any of the weapons from the current season or past. But if I go into an activity looking for, the Braytech Werewolf or the Jurassic Green or the the Macabre, if I'm playing Haunted Sectors farming for those weapons, I shouldn't be farming for, a particular role or god role or whatever. Actually, I know what it is. Bungie's obsession with randomness extends the playability of their game, builds false complexity and content, aka bloat, but it also fuels the influencers. It fuels their videos. This is the god roll for this weapon. This is what you're looking for. Blah, blah, blah. It's probably going to take you about 50 fucking runs through the dungeon. But you're going to find one. Probably. Maybe. And not so much picky, choosy, hunty, finding things. And that's all I'm going to share for now. Thanks for listening.